Yeah, good afternoon, Sakshi, and thank you for calling. See, if you see the market is little bit consolidating only between 25,000 and 26,000 level. And at 26,000 level, most of the positives are already factored in. That's why you are seeing a selling pressure at that level. Again, if you see the overall the quarter two results are okay, mixed bag results, but the main trigger which will come, I think it will come from the India and US trade deal, which may happen at the November end. I think that will be a bigger trigger point, and also I think October to December quarter will be much better because of Diwali and GST cut, all that benefit passing on. I think from January first week, second week onwards, result may come in a much better level, and that is where I think the things will pick up. Till then, I think the market will move around this range only. So no such big positive, but yes, as such for the investor, I think they have to see the results which are already gone by and see wherever the green shoots are. Then at a lower level they can accumulate. I think next year, next first half will be much better from here.
Okay, let's also look at the clear momentum that we are seeing at this point. Defense stocks, how are you reading into this fresh momentum? 3 days in a row, we've been seeing the momentum pick up pace. And what is it that's driving the momentum right now? Do you see there is enough and more upside from the current levels? So far this year, there has been only periodic scattered momentum on defense. And, do you think the time is right to again look at this space?
This actually, we know that it's a big mega trend, and it's a mega trend for next 5 years and 10 years. There is no shortage of order book. No order book, everybody has almost all the companies have a very good order book, almost three times, four times of their total turnover. But the main thing which will will take it forward is that what is their execution, how the capacity is going to build up, how good they are going to actually execute the things. Because you see the profit booking and the revenue recognition, most of the defense companies is quite lumpy. In some quarter it's a big recognitions and next quarter less. So you have to focus on capacity increment and also execution, and that is where you have to bifurcate the companies. If you ask me, especially I think HL, BEL and Mazagon Dock looks much better. They are working on their capacity build up. Of course they have an order book and the execution are much better, and we have to see the margin upgrade also, whether they are improving on the margin or not. So these are some of the parameters one has to see if they want to invest for long term. But yes, I do agree, overall defense sector is going to do well, and all these companies which I mentioned, they can even buy, investor can buy at this level or at dips also.
Okay, got that. Let me also ask you, when it comes to some other momentum based stocks, we are looking at the IT sector clearly in momentum, 1.2% higher last couple of sessions as well. They have been in momentum. What are you picking up? What's happening on the IT sector?
See, IT sector, we have to see their guidance and all that. And now, see, of course, AI is going to have a big impact. I'm not too much positive on all these big stocks, TCS, Infosys, or Excel, and all that. The reason is their guidance, you see, 2 to 6%, which is on a lower side. And again, the AI is going to impact them. The reason is the margin may go down. Already, I would talk with some of the IT companies. They are saying that their US customer, no, they are actually negotiating on AI partner, that AI is going to do most of the work, and that is a margin will be in a pressure in coming days. But if you really want to bet on IT, I think mid cap IT is where Coforge, Persist, and I think they may be safer bet. The reason they are working on their AI, they have a very niche products. Again, they are not so big as TCS, Infosys, so they can move fast. But yes, I think their product pipeline is much better than these service-oriented companies like TCS, Infosys, and Wipro and all that. So better to focus on mid cap, and I think that is where the growth will be in future.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, होप आपको सेशन अच्छा लग रहा है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि हम भी आपको हेल्प करें स्टॉक सिलेक्शन में, तो आप हमारी सर्विस ले सकते हैं। हम एक सेबी रजिस्टर्ड रिसर्च एनालिस्ट है, और आप www.catapan.in ये वेबसाइट में जाके देखिएगा। यहाँ हमने सब कुछ दिया हुआ है। अगर आप देखें तो एक पोर्टफोलियो बिल्डर कॉम्बो है, जहाँ हम लोग इक्विटी, म्यूचुअल फंड, ETF, IPO, SME IPO, बॉन्ड्स रिकमेंडेशन, बाय सेल रिकमेंडेशन, वीकली सेशंस होते हैं जो आपको हेल्प करते हैं आपका पूरा पोर्टफोलियो स्ट्रक्चर और प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन में, प्लस पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू भी होता है। तो आप ज़रूर जाके देखिएगा। इवन आपको सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो इक्विटी का भी पोर्टफोलियो अवेलेबल है। जो आप सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो बेटर है आप एक बार जाके देखिए और समझिए। प्लस गाइज, अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड करें ऐसे सेक्टर रिकमेंडेशन और इवन स्टॉक पिकिंग एक्सरसाइज तो हम उसकी भी लिंक दे देंगे, वो क्लिक करके नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड कीजिएगा। चले, डू सब्सक्राइब फॉर द नेक्स्ट वेबिनार। थैंक यू।
Okay. Got that. Let me also just ask you, when it comes to the IT space, there is this big entire AI discussion that is underway right now, Tapan, and that's by way of what's really happening around the globe. Indian tech companies are just grappling with finding their chances, reimagining themselves as far as the big AI push is concerned. But globally, we've already seen a massive rally take place. I mean, look at what has happened on the Nasdaq. That's the tech index of Wall Street. It's rallied about 25% over the last couple of months, 3-4 months only. And we have seen a lot of companies like Nvidia that have rallied substantially, become a $5 trillion kind of a company, most valued company in the world as well. This is not just one company, but the entire value chain of these AI stocks have actually rallied very sharply. What we've also seen today is that SoftBank is reportedly selling its entire Nvidia stake for $5.8 billion. Now, the key question here is coming in: are there fears of an AI bubble that are erupting at this point in time? That's the key question that I want to ask you as well. Remember, the company has already said it has sold 32 million Nvidia shares in October. The recent stake sale actually comes at a time when SoftBank is doubling down on the AI investments globally on several other companies as well. SoftBank CEO Mayoshi Son has actually said and has been aggressively building up a portfolio of all these critical AI companies, from OpenAI to a lot of other companies like Oracle, for instance, as well. ABB's robotics arm, they have picked up a stake. But exiting Nvidia at this stage is creating a lot of questions in the minds of people. Why am I discussing this is because I know that this is a global company, but a lot of Indian investors now have exposure to these tech giants with fractional investments, with mutual fund routes, ETFs that they actually invest in as well. And that's why it's important for them to understand what's really happening on the AI stuff. How are you assessing what's going on the AI space?
See, of course, there is a big capex investment all these AI companies going to do in future, and for that, now what is the talk currently going on that they are going to create a special purpose vehicle where they are going to ramp up their capex there, not in their own balance sheet, but creating an SPV, and that is where now the red flags is coming that say OpenAI, Meta, Google, all these companies are going to have a special purpose vehicle, and this is where now the everyone is saying that if something goes wrong in that company, what will happen? That's a risk because $4 trillion of capex is going to come by 2013 AI. That is a big infrastructure. And if you ask for the revenue is very less. If you see the open AI revenue is I think 13 billion. Recently there was a interview with Sam Walton. That is what he was saying about. So the revenue is much lesser and the capex is bigger. That is where the fear comes. Talking about SoftBank existing, see they were the largest shareholder earlier. I think in 2000 or something like no, they 2020 something they sold their stake actually 2019 4.8 or 4.9%. Currently they sold that whatever remaining is then they are completely existing out of that. But I think they are going to invest in AI only, but they are going to create their own infrastructure. That is where they are going to invest. But existing getting out from the Nvidia stock, that means no valuation is on a rich side. Now we know that all this stock has gone up a lot. The main thing is that whether the revenue and profitability is going to catch up with the valuation or not, and that is a big question mark. So no one has an answer on that. If you ask the analysts in US and everyone is still they are saying that everything is good here, but one has to be careful because the capex which they are going to invest now, even OpenAI told Trump to know that they should support their capex. So all these are having a big question mark. So yes, one has to be little bit careful, and I think the valuation is on ISR. So but no, at the end, India is not going to get directly impact out of this. But yes, if the that stocks falls, then here also, if Nasdaq falls, even our IT stocks will also fall.
Okay, got that. Let me also just drive your attention to some of the other pockets as well, and try to understand how one should be really looking at. 2 or 3 opportunities are being discussed as future opportunities within India as well. There are a lot of investors, viewers of ours who keep on asking how should one plan up their investments for next 5 to 10 years. Are there going to be these new age themes like AI, data centers, semiconductors that will be critical for investment portfolios to have, can they start to build up their early portfolio onto these themes? How are you advising? Such queries must also be coming across to you.
Yeah, 100%. Our clients are asking every day that thing. See, the problem is now if you talk about specific AI stock, there is no specific AI stock in here. And you can say network technology is somewhat near to AI stock, but
Yeah.
again, the valuation is quite on a higher side, more than 100 P. And the results are not coming so much that it will support that valuation. So I will not suggest to invest at this level. Let it come 10-15% down, then one can think about it. Even if you talk about semiconductor, I think Moship is one of the stock which is a pure semiconductor stock. Not many stocks are that. CG is coming, but see, all these stocks are all these companies are now gearing up. Many IT companies are gearing up, but there is no specific AI or semiconductor stock. But whoever 2-3 stocks are there, but the valuation is on a higher side. So better to wait, and one has to see that if, like talking about CG Power, they are going to have a big semiconductor unit, but still the you can say that the production has not started. So all this stuff one has to keep in mind, and problem is that no India there is no specific about that. But yes, one can keep in mind all these stocks which I think CG, Moship, network technology. Even if you talk about data center, I think Anantraj is a good option which you can look at. Anantraj, I think valuation wise is much on a comfortable level that one can look at it, and many other companies are slowly coming into it, Tata Technologies and all that. But it will take some time. Still, I think we are far behind. India is far behind in all this. Maybe a next 6 month, 1 month, 6 months or 12 months production will start, and then we will see the more impact.
Okay. Tapan, let's also discuss some of the other big factors that are buzzing in trade. Auto space is also in the fast lane, 1% higher. That's also clearly buzzing now. Remember, in the last 1.5 months, or there is a lot of attention that we paid to auto stocks, especially after the GST rationalization. This was the first pocket to react substantially and give positive upticks. Now, remember, in the sales figures that have come recently and the Q2 earnings, only a little part of the reflection of GST rationalization has come in. A lot of companies in their management commentary have indicated that Q3 and rather Q4 will be better to really assess the kind of drive that GST rates have led to as far as volumes and sales are concerned. But particularly on the auto space, what's your sense for the second half, and any key stocks that are on top of your radar?
Yeah, autos, I think things will be better in the second half also. The reason is that no, this I think the GST rationalization impact will be on a longer time frame. Again, the you see the numbers are very good. Of course, Diwali number was very good. Even the last first November data, second November data is mostly all the automakers has done well. But here one has to be just I want to tell that be with the winners or no whoever is the leaders, because here no I think the what type of model you have, what type of you can say which segment you are there will have a more impact. So I think Mahindra and Mahindra, or you can take TVS Motor or Maruti, they will continue to do well. The reason is simple. No, their models are good. Of course, Mahindra, if you see now, still there is a lot of waiting list, and they are doing well. Even the margin expansion is slowly and gradually increasing. And I think automobile is the best sector which has impacted through GST rationalization. So things will be better in the second half. But here the valuation already gone up. So my suggestion is that wait for some time. I think maybe 15% down one can start investing. But yes, it cannot go down more. But still I am quite bullish, and I think some of the stocks name I have given, I think they may do well in near future also.
Okay, let's also discuss Tata Motors then with you, Tapan. Tomorrow is an important day. A lot of Tata Motors shareholders will be looking at tomorrow when the CV business finally gets listed. We have seen the demerger come into effect. Right now, it's the Tata Motors passenger vehicles business that is being seen at this level that we are looking at trading. But tomorrow, we will also have Tata Motors commercial vehicles get listed as well. What's the anticipation on the price? What would you advise investors who've been holding on for this demerger to play out and for a shareholder unlocking of value?
See, honestly, Tata Motors valuation is very low compared to all other automakers. Because first of all, performance was not there because of Land Rover and Jaguar, and again that UK that cyber scam happened, and because of that also it has been said that no big profitability will go away of Jaguar. Now we have to see on the earnings call what will happen. That is a key thing to watch out. It's not out of the cloud still. Tata Motors, if you talk about Tata Motors passenger vehicles, is trading at a very lower level. So if some good news, the stock will go up. Commercial vehicle, of course, that is in a much better shape because they are not having directly impact. But I think this is the level where one should not sell the stock. I think it's quite a value stock currently, but the problems are too much for Tata Motors. So now what will be the commentary in the earnings season, that we have to see. So tomorrow once the list, I think one has to hold it. If someone want to no buy, they can buy also, and the main impact will come and know when the result season will come, and what the management is talking about the loss which has happened to that cyber breach and all that, then one can take a decision. But yes, currently it's a hold.
Tapan, I wanted to also understand from you when it comes to the auto two-wheeler name specifically, what would you choose and what's your pecking order there?
See, auto two wheelers, of course, no, EV in EV, if you see TVS and Aisha Motor and Hero Honda has done much better. Earlier, we know that Ola numbers were much ahead, but I think Ola is actually now quite behind. Even Ather numbers are much better than Ola. Now, talking about TVS Motors and Aisha Motor, they have gone up a lot. Valuation wise, I think Hero Honda is in a Hero Motor is much more in a comfortable situation where no still the valuation gap is on a lower side. Bajaj Auto is there, Bajaj Auto, but numbers are not coming so great. That's why their valuation is also quite no good. So I think if you talk about valuation wise, I think Hero Motor and Bajaj Auto are available at a lower level. But yes, TVS and Eicher are quite richly valued. But I think I'll go with the leader TVS Motor because they are in a role, and I think still from here also EV numbers are doing great, and I think they will do better. And if you want to take from value pick, I think Hero Honda will be another pick at a valuation point of view.
Okay, fair point. Let's also try and dip a little deeper and find out what's happening on specific stocks. Let's bring up the top movers now. Indigo, 3.5% higher at 5,782. What do you think is the reason why Indigo is now rallying? How have the results been? How have you assessed that and the opportunity going forward in the second half? Of course, the activity on travel also picks up pace. Do you think there are enough and more triggers for Indigo to bounce from certain current levels as well?
See, Indigo is having almost 62% market share, and the current result, no, there was almost 2,300 forex loss. Now that is always a one-time loss. It normally does not happen again and again. But if you see the festival season, this October to December, I think this will do very well for Indigo, and we can see the fairs and all that. And also they are the leaders. Okay, so they are going to start lot many international flights also and all that. Plus oil remaining at 60-65 level, which is going to help them. So all other positives are there. I think this is a long-term bet, and I'll go with this bet because tourism is going up a lot, and there is no as such a big competitor to Indigo. And no, the way they are handling their operations and even the margin expansion, sometimes we can see. So yes, I'll go for Indigo. At every dip, one can have it, and keep a frame of time frame of 3 years, 4 years. This may give a good return.
Okay. Taking the next one then, I wanted to also bring up a few other stocks that I wanted to discuss with you, especially when it comes to the mid and the small caps, the broader markets. How are you scouting for opportunities there? So far in this year, it's the mid caps and small caps that have underperformed the large caps. That was the consensus even at the beginning of the calendar year. But is there any green shoot that is emerging that could share with us that probably an insight that mid cap and small caps could come back into flavor?
See, mid cap and small cap, as you told, no, it's been laggard, and even this earnings season also it's been laggard.
Yeah.
No, all results are not coming so great compared to large cap. And here, no, you have to distinguish between export oriented and domestic, because still that because the trade deal has not happened, these 3-4 months. whoever is having a good export is going to impact a lot. There will be a good hit in the PNL, on the PNL, and that is what you have to see. And we know that there is always a no relief rally coming on this mid cap, but wherever the export oriented is there, I think one has to be very very careful. Just see the result and see how much the hit is there, because if they are not able to do export fully. Okay, my focus will be much more on a domestic front, like no like mid cap banks or something like Karur Vysya or something like, or mid cap you can say NBFCs. Okay, even you can say about FMCG. So that is when no, I think things will move. Even hospitals, even hotels, they're also doing their numbers are coming very good. So domestic oriented, I think no much better results are there, even mid cap and small cap. So that is where focus should be. Of course, avoiding export oriented companies.
Okay, got that. Let me also bring up some of the commodity plays for you and help us an understanding of as to how are you looking at that. Of course, metals, we are seeing some momentum build up over the last couple of months. It's continuing to show us some promise. There was some anticipation of a lot of technical analysts, a lot of even commodity analysts, that this rally that we have been seeing in gold and silver all through the last summer could probably now fuel into hard metals as well. Now we are seeing copper emerge as one of the key winners there. How are you looking at the metal story?
See, metal stocks, I'm quite bullish, from last 2 quarters, because you can see the good rally. Even the overall, the domestic demand is good. See, government is protecting by putting the safeguard duty, and China demand is also now slowly and gradually coming in. And overall, I think, things will be much, much better. And if you see the steel companies, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, they are able to increase their margins also, because the raw material on a lower side. Even the aluminum, copper, that is where also the bullishness is there. So yes, I'm positive on this metal stock, but it's a quite cyclical. So you have to see quarter to quarter. But at least this quarter, I can say for next 2 months, I think things will be better. Here, I think steel companies still will do better, like JSW or Tata Steel. Of course, on aluminum, I think Hindalco may do well. But yes, you have to be selective. But I think still one can hold this metal stock for at least 2 3 months, and then cycle turns. Then we have to think about it of getting out.
Okay, got that. Now let's talk about the oil and gas story. How are you looking at this theme play out for the second half of the calendar year? Do you see any opportunities either on the upstream or the downstream side?
See, I'm quite bullish on OMC, still oil marketing companies, compared to oil exploration companies. If you see, of course, oil at 60 65 dollars, no, their margin is expanding. Last time, when in the result also, BPCL, HPCL, they told that margins are going up. That shows that no, now it's been stabilized. Now they are not having that type of one which they were having, because earlier they used to rely on a much more subsidy. So if anyone wants to bet, I think BPCL, HPCL, I think that is a better bet compared to ONGC and all that, because oil exploration, of course, if the oil prices are down, they are going to have an impact. But as Reliance, let us keep aside Reliance. I'm bullish, but it's having a four segment, so I'm not comparing with that. But yes, I think OMC is the place where one can invest.
Okay, got that. Also wanted to draw your attention to the primary market space as well. So much of buzzing action on the primary market space. We saw subdued listing of Lenskart. Now, we are looking at Physics Wala that is open. Tomorrow we will have Grow getting listed. There's Pine Labs. There's enough and more opportunities that investors are looking at this point in time. And probably this is also confusing them, because the capital is limited with the retail investors. Yet at the same time, when they're looking at so many opportunities, they're getting confused where exactly should they put the money. We had looked at a 28 times subscription for Lenskart, but the listing gain was completely missing on day one. And similarly, there is a lot of thought that investors have to put before they invest into these opportunities. How are you looking at the primary market? Any specific opportunity that you are liking at this point?
See, thanks to the merchant bankers, all the prices are fully priced, okay, all the IPO prices. So nothing is left for the retail investor. Honestly, Lenskart, even at that time, I was telling avoid only. The reason is simple, no, at such valuation, even Grow, of course, is number one, but you see the broking business. Currently, it's been fractured, no, because of the SEBI rules. You see the Motilal Oswal or Angel broking result, no, quite bad. We are talking about weekly expiry going to be halted in future. future talk going on, even the mutual fund expense ratio. So all these are predominantly traditional brokerage businesses. So I think Grow will also have a good impact of that. That's why I'm not bullish on Grow also. Talking about physical physics wala, again education business has not done well in stock market. We know the history. I think rarely, and the price is also, I think there may be some 5-10% upside of listing it, but I think if you talk about long term, I'll not bet on it, because the lot of competition is there in that segment, and again the price are such on a higher side that does not make any sense to invest. So my is avoid for all the counters currently.
Okay, not looking at any opportunity within the primary market space at this point in time. Time to be cautious where the opportunities are existing. But after the Q2 earnings have largely panned out, this is the last week when we will see some more earnings come in, and then we will be wrapping up the quarterly earnings. Have you done any upgrades or downgrades after the earnings?
I think this quarter exceptional earnings are coming from NBFC side. No, NBFC has done very well, and PSU banks also given a quite a good result. That is where you can see a good uptick. Rest, I think capital market and all that has not given great result. Even IT is mixed bag. Okay, selective FMCG companies has done well, like Tata Consumer and all that. So selective counter, but yes, hotel industry and even the hospitals has done very well. So I can say the domestic front has done comparatively well, and that is where now the bet should be. I think this type of scenario will continue for the next quarter also. I think 1-2 quarter more it will take to the impact of whatever trade deal will happen. No, and in between 3-4 months of impact will be done in by next quarter. So I think after 3 months, 6 months, we will see secular growth compared to in all the sectors. But I think currently, I think these are the counters which I told earlier will have a good results.
Okay, so we have 25,700 with us towards the end of the session. 2 minutes to go before we shut shop, half odd percent higher. Where do you see the markets headed, Tapan?
See, markets I think will be range between 25,500 to 26,000. As I told you, till the something big trigger will come, and I think the next trigger is US and India deal. I don't see all time high suddenly. Yes, in the hope of deal is going to happen, that may bring to all time high. But I think maybe around 26,000 will be hovering around.
Okay, got that. Well, let's start to wrap up the edition now. Thank you so much, Tapan, for being with us on the show and giving us all those insights.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, होप आपको सेशन अच्छा लग रहा है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि हम भी आपको हेल्प करें स्टॉक सिलेक्शन में, तो हम आप हमारी सर्विस ले सकते हैं। हम एक सेबी रजिस्टर्ड रिसर्च एनालिस्ट है, और आप www.catapan.in ये वेबसाइट में जाके देखिएगा। यहाँ हमने सब कुछ दिया हुआ है। अगर आप देखें तो एक पोर्टफोलियो बिल्डर कॉम्बो है, जहाँ हम लोग इक्विटी, म्यूचुअल फंड, ईटीएफ, आईपीओ, एसएमई आईपीओ, बॉन्ड्स रिकमेंडेशन, बाय सेल रिकमेंडेशन, वीकली सेशंस होते हैं जो आपको हेल्प करते हैं आपका पूरा पोर्टफोलियो स्ट्रक्चर और प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन में, प्लस पोर्टफोलियो रिव्यू भी होता है। तो आप ज़रूर जाके देखिएगा। इवन आपको सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो इक्विटी का भी पोर्टफोलियो अवेलेबल है। जो आप सिर्फ इक्विटी का चाहिए तो बेटर है आप एक बार जाके देखिए और समझिए। प्लस गाइज, अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप हमारा नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड करें ऐसे सेक्टर रिकमेंडेशन और इवन स्टॉक पिकिंग एक्सरसाइज, तो हम उसकी भी लिंक दे देंगे। वो क्लिक करके नेक्स्ट सेशन अटेंड कीजिएगा। चले, डू सब्सक्राइब फॉर द नेक्स्ट वेबिनार। थैंक